Good morning everyone. This is Kamikawa Kaolin. Have you ever thought about the national flag? Regarding the act of insulting the flags of other countries, that became a problem in cancelled Korea this time. In particular, South Korea has always burned the Japanese flag and the photo of the Prime Minister. It is a rude nation that has done rude acts that ignore so-called international rules many times. However, the strange thing here is that the country of South Korea has done such a rude act to other countries. Why is it left unchecked without any penalties? Is South Korea a law-abiding country? Or is it an anarchy, undeveloped developing country house? I was very skeptical, so I did some research this time. What are the international rules regarding national flags in the first place? As an international common sense, the national flag must be respected and treated with care. The national flag is sacred, as if it were even put on the ground it is treated as. This is a common idea of all countries in the world and can be said to be the law of the international community. If you are Japanese, if you think of Yuzuru Hanyu,
羽生選手です。お疲れ様でした。
だけ誰か下に置くことができない。
a figure skate, who cherish the national flag, I think I am convinced of this common idea. However, it seems to be different in Korea. The national flag should be treated with great care as a symbol of the country and a sign of dignity. On the one hand, trampling, burning, tearing, eating, trampling the flag for the purpose of insulting the nation. It may extend to acts such as these blasphemy acts on the national flag. It is divided into cases where it is treated as a crime and cases where it is not treated based on the local laws of other countries. If you are subject to punishment depending on the country or region, they are often sentenced to imprisonment, or fines for a certain period of time. However, in the case of a national flag with a national emblem, the national flag is because it may be considered the property of that country. Even in a country like Japan where there is no crime of damaging the foreign national emblem, owners of national flags with national emblems may be subject to penalties as the insulted country. Search for flag desecration for more information. So what about the laws of each country? First of all, Japan. In Japan, the Japanese flag is a balance between freedom of thought, conscience, and expression. No matter what you do, you will not be punished as long as you own it. As for foreign flags, even if they belong to you, if the national flags and national emblems of other countries are destroyed for the purpose of insult and the government of the victim country filed a complaint, foreign national emblem damage crime is applied, and imprisonment for up to 2 years or a fine of up to 200,000 yen will be imposed. Similarly, in Germany, there is a foreign flag damage crime. In the criminal law, there is no provision to punish damage to the national flag. So what about Korea? In fact, South Korea also has a law called flag blasphemy. Flag blasphemy is in Article 105 of the Penal Code. Anyone who has damaged, removed, or insulted the national flag for the purpose of insulting the Republic of Korea, imprisonment for up to 5 years or imprisonment for up to 10 years or a fine of up to 7 million won is stipulated. So what about foreign flags? In Article 109 of the Korean Criminal Code, foreign national flag, blasphemy of national emblem for the purpose of insulting a foreign country, the national flag, for public use, of that country, or those who have damaged, removed or humiliated the national emblem, you will be punished by imprisonment with work for not more than 2 years, imprisonment with work, or a fine of not more than 3 million won. Article 110, Victim's Intention. The offenses of Articles 107 to 109 may not be filed against the explicit will of the foreign government. As you can see, if the foreign government does not intend to protest, it will not be sued. Not only is it not actually punished, in fact, under the Korean Criminal Code, it is not a blasphemy unless it is against a foreign flag that is, for public use. I'm not sure what the public flag is and what it isn't. From a normal understanding, if the national flag is displayed at the embassy or stadium, it is for public use. For flags like those used in private homes and handmade flags written in rough drawings, it is presumed that it is not considered to be for public use. The word for public use is not included in the Korean flag regulations. What you can see from here is in South Korea, the national flag of one's own country is prioritized, and the national flags of other countries do not matter. In a sense, it can be called foreign flag discrimination, according to the provisions of the Korean criminal law desecrations that are not against the national flag for public use. Since it does not meet the constituent requirements, it is a legally acceptable act. Unless this is changed in the future, the country of South Korea has not reflected on anything. I have to say that it is a nation that will continue to make the same mistakes. On the surface, words like apologize are very unbelievable. Until now, despite the fact that it has been done for the purpose of clearly insulting Japan, this is the reason why no one has been arrested or prosecuted. Furthermore, in South Korea, we can see that there is another law that anti-Japanese is allowed. Looking further at China, there is a law that targets the five-star red flag, which is the national flag of China. There are no penalties for flags other than your own. It's not a level that can be called a very developed country. On the other hand, if you look at Japan, the Japanese Penal Code only stipulates crimes against foreign flags. There are no provisions in the Penal Code regarding insults or damage to the Japanese flag. There is no wording for public use. Japan and South Korea are the opposite, completely different nations. I think you can see that. It's natural that we can't understand each other because the laws are different. It makes you think about what kind of relationship you should have with South Korea and China in the future. Furthermore, regarding the rising sun flag, which South Korea is complaining about, since 2011, it has started with an excuse to escape, which is completely inconsistent with what has been said and done so far. The logic is completely inconsistent. Before 2011, I was happy to use the rising sun flag, but after 2011, I will say that it is a war criminal flag. What can we say that this is not political action? Please take a closer look. It's a level that can no longer be talked about. I'm amazed and my open mouth doesn't close. The story has become a little long, so I would like to end this time around here. See you next time. That's all.